All right. So gonna go ahead and get started since it looks like the entries have slowed down. Welcome everybody to the McLeod Pit Hydroelectric Project afternoon public scoping meeting for the notice of preparation for a subsequent environmental impact report. So today, here's our agenda for today. We'll spend the first few minutes going over meeting logistics, ground rules, and objectives for the meeting. After that will be the staff presentation where we'll go over the McLeod Pit project, and then we'll review the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission process and the California Environmental Quality Act process. And after that presentation, we will open it up to comments, and we will adjourn at 7:30, or if there are no more comments before 7:30, we will end early. So, meeting logistics and ground rules. The meeting is being recorded and transcribed by a court reporter. So please hold all questions and comments until the end of the presentation. And to facilitate that, we will keep all microphones muted during the presentation and during the comments if you're not the one speaking. If you would like to speak, please raise your hand or use the chat to indicate that you would like to be unmuted. Like Erin said earlier, if you're joining us by phone only, the raise hand feature is *9, and then to unmute, it's *6. And if you do speak, please state and spell your name before your comment for the court reporter so they can note down who you are. Also, people demonstrating unprofessional language will be removed from the meeting, so please be sure to be respectful. And everybody will be given about 3 to 5 minutes to speak, depending on how many people wish to speak. We can give people more time or more rounds to talk if there's not a whole lot of comments, so that might change, but keep the 3 to 5 minutes in mind when you do make your comment. All right, so our meeting objectives today is to provide an overview of the McLeod Pit Hydroelectric Project, discuss the FERC and SQL processes, and then solicit comments on the notice of preparation. So to begin, the McLeod Pit Hydroelectric Project. It is FERC project number 2106. It's owned and operated by the Pacific Gas and Electric Company. It's located in Shasta and Siskiyou counties. There's only a very small portion in Siskiyou County though, so it's mostly located in Shasta County. And it's made of 3 power developments. There's from upstream to downstream, the James B. Black development, the Pit 6 development, and the Pit 7 development. So to look at these on a map, we have up at the most upstream end, we have the McLeod Reservoir and McLeod Dam, which takes water from the McLeod Reservoir, transfers it to Iron Canyon Reservoir, and then from the reservoir and the dam, it goes to the James B. Black Powerhouse, which is on the Pitt River. And then you'll see just below that is the Pitt 5 Powerhouse. That's part of a different PG&E project. So those features are the James B. Black development. Moving downstream, you have the Pitt 6 Reservoir and the Pitt 6 Dam and Powerhouse. So those are the Pit 6 development. And then at the bottom of the project area is the Pit 7 Reservoir, Dam, and Powerhouse, and that's the Pit 7 development. The Pit 7 development has some rec facilities, and then the James B. Black development has the project campgrounds. So this next figure shows just a schematic of how water moves throughout the different facilities. All of the blue shapes are McLeod Pit facilities. All of the white shapes are just part of PG&E's other projects on the Pitt River. So you can see here, the project starts in the McLeod Reservoir on the McLeod River. Water goes into Iron Canyon Reservoir, which is then diverted to the Pit 6 or no, sorry, the Pitt River, and all waters discharged into Shasta Lake. And it's the downstreammost project of PG&E's Pitt projects. Now, to go over the FERC process to date, in 1961, FERC licensed the original project. Then in July of 2009, PG&E applied for a new FERC license, which initiated relicensing. In January of 2010, PG&E then applied for a water quality certification from the State Water Board. And in California, as part of the FERC process, the applicant, in this case PG&E, must apply for a water quality certification to certify that the project will be in compliance with water quality standards. As part of this certification, the State Water Board prescribes conditions to ensure that the project won't violate any water quality standards and will be protective of beneficial uses. These conditions are included in the final FERC license. So next in the timeline, February of 2011, FERC issues the final environmental impact statement for National Environmental Policy Act compliance, or NEPA. NEPA is the federal equivalent to the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA. So NEPA requires that federal agencies with licensing power analyze project impacts to environmental factors, economic factors, things like that. And on to a little bit later, November of 2019, the State Water Board Executive Director issued the final water quality certification. And so the final step in the FERC process would be for FERC to issue a new license, which has not happened yet. Moving on to the SQL process. So the State Water Board is the lead agency for the purposes of CEQA compliance, which means that the State Water Board conducts all of the CEQA analysis and prepares the environmental review document. So that began in October of 2012 when State Water Board conducted informal consultation with responsible and trustee agencies, California Native American tribes, and the public. In May of 2019, the State Water Board released a draft initial study, negative declaration, or ISND, for public comment. And in November of 2019, the State Water Board Executive Director adopted the final certification and ISND. In December of 2019, the State Water Board received petitions for reconsideration of the certification and related litigation. In December of 2020, the State Water Board Executive Director issued this water quality order directing staff to conduct AB 52 consultation with California Native American tribes. AB 52 is a California law that requires CEQA lead agencies to consult with Native American tribes in the project area regarding potential impacts to tribal cultural resources. So in January of 2021, State Water Board staff began AB 52 consultation with the Winnemem-Wintu tribe. And that brings us to now, March 2022, the State Water Board issued a notice of preparation for a subsequent environmental impact report. So reviewing what a subsequent environmental impact report is. So a lead agency prepares a subsequent EIR if it determines that new information of substantial importance, which was not known at the time and could not have been known at the time the negative declaration was adopted, shows that the project may cause significant impacts that were not previously identified. The State Water Board staff determined that there may be significant impacts to tribal cultural resources due to project activities after the negative declaration was adopted. And this determination was made in light of new information that we got from the Winnemem-Wintu tribe. So on to our purpose today. We are seeking public comments regarding the scope of the subsequent EIR, meaning what should we analyze in the EIR, potential impacts not previously analyzed in the ISND, and potential project alternatives not previously analyzed in the ISND, and any other comments related to preparing a subsequent EIR. So we will be taking comments on the NOP until Monday, April 11th. The deadline is 5 p.m. If you'd like to submit your comments, you can do so via email or mail. Email is preferred because our mailroom staff are still mostly working remote. So our email is wr401program@waterboards.ca.gov. And this is our mailing address if you would like to mail your comments in. And a reminder also that any comments made in this meeting will be recorded by the court reporter and considered when developing the subsequent EIR. If you would like to stay informed on the McLeod Pit project and other projects that the State Water Board has, you can go to this website. And then I'll show you some screenshots of how to do this, but you will enter the fields, your information into this website, your email address and your full name. Before you click subscribe, go down to water rights, and then you'll select water rights, water quality certification, and that is our email list. So you'll select that and then you can hit subscribe. You will be getting a confirmation email once you subscribe, so make sure you respond to that so you can officially be signed up. So that is our presentation. Just a few reminders before we open up the floor to raise your hand or put your name in the chat if you'd like to provide a comment. Again, if you're on the phone, that is *9 to raise your hand, *6 to unmute yourself. When you begin your comment or question, please state your name and spell your name for the court reporter. And complete your comments within the time frame allotted, that 3 to 5 minutes. Like I said earlier, there may be more time for additional comments, but for the first round, try to keep it 3 to 5 minutes. And I will first see if there are any tribal representatives or legislative representatives who'd like to comment or ask a question. Okay, I don't think we have any, so we can open up to everyone. Is there anyone who would like to make a comment regarding the notice of preparation or ask a question about the project or the SQL process?
I see many of the same people we saw earlier today. So I want to thank you all for participating in both meetings.
Yes.
If you have any questions or comments, we're happy to hear them now, or you can submit them as part of the public comment process.
Mm-hmm. And again, if you'd like to submit comments, here's the email to do so. All right. Maybe just a few seconds in case anyone decides like a last minute comment. Otherwise, we can probably end early. Well, all right, I'm gonna take that as a all clear. So thank you everyone for joining today. And if you have any questions about the project, after this meeting, feel free to contact this email address and we can help you out. Otherwise, we look forward to hearing from you if you do submit any comments, and that will be it.
Thank you for your time, everybody. We'll go ahead and end the recording and post this information to the website in case anybody wants to refer to it in the future.
Yes. Thanks everyone for coming.